The number one podcast in the world for growing your insurance business.
I'ma do whatever it takes, getting it done, any means, get rid of these stakes. Now I'm up in my stakes, going all in like get rid of these breaks. Now I ain't never gonna break, double my pace till I go down one of the greats. One of the greats, whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
Can't believe I'm doing this.
Having fun, so that's all.
We like the life.
Ooh, that was a good one.
All right, everybody. Welcome back in to another episode of the Seven Figures or Bust podcast, the number one podcast in the world for growing your insurance business. This is episode 245. My name is Christian Brindle, brought to you as always by my co-host Glenn Shelton, and we have an awesome show for you guys today on a Friday, July 3rd.
I thought it was my headset first. I think it might be your audio. I lost you for a second there.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can't.
It's not me. I can see
We were just talking.
All right. Well, anyway.
There we go. You're back. You're back.
Yeah, I was like, I knew it's not me because I see my thing coming.
We just talked for 5 minutes before the show. Technology. That's working.
Let's try that again. Welcome back in, everybody, to another episode. The number one podcast in the world for growing your insurance business. This is episode 245 on July 3rd, Friday, day before July 4th, our 250th birthday of our great nation.
Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday. Happy B-Day, old girl. We got a great show lined up for you guys today. We're going to be talking about, guys, I don't know if you realize this. The title says we're 90 days from October 1st. We're actually less. Okay, we're in the 80s now, and we are rapidly approaching October. Ifo facto, the A, E, and the P. And we're going to talk about it, right? What should you be doing right now? Should you be excited? Should you be dreading it? Everything else in between. And it's going to be a fantastic show. Mic check 1 2 1 2, everybody. Let's get going.
You sound great. You look amazing.
Oh, honey,
I'm so
honey bear.
excited to be spending July 4th Eve with you this morning. Guys, Christian has, as long as I've known Christian, he has really celebrated any reason to blow up fireworks. So July 4th is really at the top of the list. So keep him in your thoughts as you celebrate, because he is being banned from launching fireworks into the sky this year due to the fires in Utah. Christian, are you going to break the law and do it anyways? Fill the people in. What's the status of your 4th of July? What's going to happen here?
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing this up because it's something that's near and dear to my heart, and it's true. In Utah, we have basically 2 time frames in a month that you can set off fireworks. It's tradition to set off fireworks. We have, of course, July 4th typically. Then we also have July 24th, which is Pioneer Day. Pioneer Day is a Utah holiday. It's mostly a Mormon holiday. I'm not Mormon, but I participate in Pioneer Day. And anyway, it's tradition, as Glenn said, that I shoot off fireworks for like 3 or 4 hours straight. Last year I went till like midnight, and I shot off the big ones. I think I spent almost $2,000 on fireworks last year.
That's the craziest. So crazy. Especially when you know how like frugal Christian is in the area, but he's like, if spare no expense. Give me the one that I want it to feel like a mini nuke went off next to my house. Bring me the bombs. I don't want the fireworks. Give me the bombs. I'm gonna blow up bombs.
I can't remember which movie it is. Oh, no, it's Lord of the Rings. Remember the first Lord of the Rings when they're setting off fireworks and they set off a dragon, like a fire dragon in the sky, and it's like flying towards them?
Yeah.
And Gandalf's like, get down!
Yeah.
I swear I got one last year that did something like that. It like turned around and started coming back towards our house, and my wife started screaming. She thought it was coming towards us. It was great. We didn't know what it was going to do before we set it off. Anyway, I say all that to say there have been, as any of you would know if you followed me on the social medias, okay, particularly Facebook, you would know that there's been a lot of fires going on in Utah this year. Lots of them in the last month or so. Worse than I've ever seen in my lifetime. They've gotten most of them under control now. It's kind of getting resolved now, which is great. But we're in a really bad drought. We're short on water. That is making things more prone to, catch a flame. And so because of that, most cities
this morning. That is crazy.
Most cities have implemented a firework ban and implementing an arrest on site policy as if I was mugging someone.
Arrest on, is that for real?
In some cities, yes. And $1,000 fine minimum if they catch you. So I'm not going to be able to do it. I don't have any fireworks. I didn't buy any, and I'm devastated.
I have a hard time believing you're not going to do it anyways. You're going to
I don't
put a
want to get
mask
arrested.
on.
I don't want to get arrested or something.
Yeah. Well, the crazy part is, so where I'm at, Oregon has fireworks, but because of forest fires, historically, they don't allow anything that goes. There's like a distance in the air. It's like it can't go over like 6 feet in the air. Otherwise, it's illegal. Okay.
Oh.
Now, so you get like, it's like the sparklers and like the spinnies and yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. The Washington rules just across the river from me, it's everything goes. The bombs that you like, they have all of that. They have something called like the Diablo, and it's like the real deal. Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yes. But I'm so close to the border. What happens is everyone just jumps the border and brings it back to Oregon. And it's the same thing though. It's like it's very CMS, these rules of, hey, you're gonna get in so much trouble if you break these rules. Everyone's doing it, you guys. Everyone's launching these massive fireworks in Oregon, even though it's illegal. And every year they always put a statement out beforehand too. They're like, "Don't you dare light off those fireworks this year. We're coming to get you if you do." But it never gets enforced. I'm like sitting. It's like 3 days in a row. I'm sure tonight it was started last night. Probably tonight. Nobody ever gets arrested. But I don't know. Maybe Utah will be a different flavor for you. Maybe they'll be out in force. The Gestapo coming to arrest you.
Here's the thing: we can buy them. All the stands are up, but they look very sad and lonely. I feel bad for these firework businesses. Usually when I'll drive by them, there'll be like crowds of people around them, and now I drive by and like I see the cashier like playing on his phone.
Imagine if this was your dude. Some of these, I remember after seeing how much money some of these stands make, I dove into it one year and really wanted to know. Some of these fireworks stands will do 7 figures in a week or 2 weeks. They'll sell 7 figures. So imagine, and this kind of ties into the whole AAP conversation here, right? I mean, if you're a fireworks salesperson, you have a small window to really capitalize on selling fireworks. What do you do if something like this happens? What happens if, there's a forest fire and the rules change and your sales go down? Like, how do you pivot? What do you do? Right? Like, I'd probably try to get to a completely different area. If I'm selling fireworks in Utah, I'm probably trying to get product, somewhere where the rules haven't been so locked down.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like, dare I say, these fireworks stands have had their fireworks non-commissionable.
Ooh.
Oh.
We're really tying ends together now. This is going to be a new thing on the show. We're going to take all intro topics that are about absolutely nothing related. It's all going to tie in, guys. It all ties together.
I've been thinking about like texting some of my neighbors and be like, "Hey, are you gonna shoot the fireworks?" And but I'm afraid to, because it's one of those things where it's like, like, hey,
I'm just watching their fireworks. Not my house, not my.
I don't want to be judged by my neighbors, because I have to live near them. So I don't want them to be like, "You're thinking about shooting off fireworks? How could you? There's fires going on," Like, I don't know what reaction I'll get by asking that. Be like, "Of course not. I would never do such a thing." Or they might be like, "Fuck yeah, I am, bro." Like I don't know what to. So I'm like nervous to even ask the question.
You lead it if you're like, "I would never break the rules. However, if you have chosen to light, I would love to bring my family to your home."
They cannot catch us all, as one wise man once said.
Imagine the cop show. I'm just imagining you sprint, like trying to hop a fence. You're just like sprinting. You just like ditch your kids and your wife, and you're just like, hide! Cops!
Wait a second. Hang on. We're gonna find it.
Get over the fence. You make it like halfway up the fence and just fall.
Like my Okay. All right. Here we go, everybody.
Keep it brief. We don't want to get stricken down. I know what's coming. I can feel it.
Bad boys, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John don't come for you?
Give me those fireworks! Give me those sparklers!
What you gonna do?
Yeah, this is America! 250!
You can't arrest me on a birthday.
This is 250! You son of a bitch!
Call it.
What you gonna do when they come?
Listen, you can't. This is 250. I deserve to shoot off Diablo.
El Diablo. Guys, you've heard it here on the show first. If you have access to El Diablo, I'll never forget my first Diablo, and you probably won't either. I'll tell you that. It's an experience.
Last year we got this one. I can't remember which one it was, but it was like 16 shots. And it feels like I'm in the military for a second. I light it, it's like doom, 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 doom. It just keeps going, it never stops, and I'm like,
yeah.
I will take my favorite thing like in the world. I love it. So I'm devastated.
I will take a video from my 4th of July, because I'm telling you, like, everyone goes to the beach and everyone's doing it. It's Normandy. I'm assuming this is what Normandy felt. It's just like constant shelling all night on the beach from all directions. It's terrifying and exciting all at once. Let's move into the sponsor of today's episode, you guys. And it happens to be very much so connected to America's birthday. You may have seen Christian dressed as George Washington just posted a couple days ago. And if you missed that, please find it, because it's incredible. Our founding father, Christian Brindle. But today's sponsor is Lead Heroes, the #1 senior insurance lead provider when it comes to final expense, turning 65, Medicare supplement and dental vision hearing leads. We are doing you guys a big celebration right to go along with America's 250th birthday. You're getting 50% off fixed cost lead prices at Lead Heroes. Now, it's not $19.99 anymore, and we know that. But these leads are Can we, you know what, cut the read in here. We got to talk about this for a second. We got to just cut the read in right here. We got to jump right into this. What's going on? Fill the people in. Fill the people in on this one.
Once in a blue moon, there is somebody in the Facebook group that literally came from outer space and graces us with their extraterrestrial presence. And last night I found myself in a very interesting exchange about leads with one of these extraterrestrials. It was the most bizarre conversation I've had with anybody in insurance this whole year, for sure. I wouldn't say ever, because I've had some really fucking out there interactions with some insurance agents, but this lady's like, leads? I'm not really feeling buying leads. And I'm like, so fuck off. Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want from me? That's my first reaction reading it. I'm like, and so it's like I'm not really feeling buying leads. Is that still a thing? People are still buying leads. It's so 1999-ish. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? So I'm like, buying leads is from 1999. I'm like, maybe you're talking like direct mail leads or something like that, but like, I'm like buying leads or lead generation has always been a thing forever.
Yeah, forever.
The method of going about generating said leads changes and adapts. Like, I think the point I made was, pretty sure there wasn't any in social media marketing. I'm pretty sure there was no digital marketing. I'm pretty sure there was no, technology methods that we use to generate leads, like our power dialers or things like that back in 1999, etc. Just a bizarre interaction.
Very strange. And I initially was going to try to launch into this whole like diatribe of, if anything, you could say the peak of lead generation was like early 2010s, like when internet leads were like at their peak. I was going to literally go into this diatribe of like, and then I just settled for a GIF because I'm like, there's going to be no getting through to this person. So I'm not going to, I'm like, here's a fun dancing image. Look at this. It's 1999. Like, look at this.
Look over there. Look over there.
1999. That's a fun year. That's what I settled for. But wild. I think the overall idea, though, that she shared, I think there are a lot of agents that think like buying leads is dead, or like paid marketing is dead, which is a wild concept. If you really think marketing's gone or paid marketing's gone, like it's all organic now.
I think there was a comment, like, how are something on the lines of, how are these people making millions of dollars in this business without spending money on marketing or leads? And I'm like, they're not. No one is. No one is.
Everyone's spending money
without spending money on marketing. Maybe you're not buying. Maybe not every single person's buying leads, but a lot of them are. But if they're not buying leads, they've learned how to generate their own leads and become sufficient savvy marketers in their own right.
Gustavo Fring spent 20 years building this distribution. That's the thing. You either have some sweat equity that, maybe you've branded yourself so well over a long period of time that you don't have to spend money on. And hats off to you. If you're in that position referrals are pouring in, your phone's ringing off the hook. That's awesome. Obviously, the goal is how close to zero can you get your CPA, but if you're trying to really grow, even if you are a well-known brand, you're probably spending money on marketing. You're probably buying leads in some capacity. It's just the nature of the business.
You can make a decent living spending no money in this business. I know some agency owners, that partner with us, several of them, that don't spend any money on marketing. Everything is referral based, everything's grassroots marketing, and they have really good businesses. But the biggest agencies I've ever known 100% spend money on leads and they spend money on marketing. They're either buying leads, they're either generating them themselves. There's a lot of ways to do this business, but what I tried to outline, to our alien friend is in this business, you either spend your time or money.
Yep. Pick
one, and if you've decided, and if that's not satisfactory, I'm happy to help you surrender your license.
Can we create a website for that outlines self-surrendering? And that we imagine just dropping imagine we get a wild comment like this 1990, and instead of saying anything, we just drop a link to a website and it's like how to self-surrender your insurance license. I think we have to do it.
Yeah,
so funny.
As a goof, I think if anything else, we need to do that.
Yeah.
Next marketing meeting, top priority.
Top priority. to kind of cap this and tie into our main topic here, Lead Heroes has 50% off our fixed cost leads. So turning 65 leads, you can get as low as $25 per lead right now, which is the lowest we'll have them all year. So take advantage while you can. Medicare supplement leads, $23 per lead. Final expense, $20 per lead. And dental vision hearing, $8 per lead. These are normally prices only for contracted agents. So you get to take advantage for the entire month of July to celebrate America's 250th birthday. You get half off fixed cost leads like you're one of our internal agents, even if you're not. Head over to leadheroes.com right now. Grab these while you can. And to kind of, again, the other conversation there, when we're talking about like people spending marketing, some of the biggest business, especially during AEP, I think about some of the bigger partnerships that I've had, some of these bigger entities, a lot of them are spending millions on marketing during AEP. If you have a downline or, you have an agency of 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 agents, like how are you going to feed all those people if you're trying to grow? And you're not just trying to rewrite your same book over and over and over and over and pretend like you're doing something. Mm-hmm. So that being said, let's shift gears into it. We are less than 90 days, which is so crazy. I feel like we just survived previous AEP, and here we are. The next wave's coming. First thoughts.
Here's the thing. The first thing I think about is, I put a post up in the group outlining. I was reflecting as we were finishing out June. I was reflecting on everything that went on in the month of June in our company. And it got me thinking. And the first thing I think about when I talk about this is like so many agents, when we talk to them, they're like, here we go, AEP, time to ratchet up. But for us, we're kind of the same level of busy all year round.
Yeah.
Like we really are, I would probably argue we were busier in June than we might be in October. It's possible.
This June, especially this June. This June was pure insanity, to say the least.
And so I do feel like a organization, an agent, team is conditioned for this based on what you're doing for the rest of the year. Right? Like AEP, don't get me wrong, last AEP was definitely a chaotic one. But to me, and I don't think to most of our team, was it certainly a little bit of an increase in terms of volume of activity and calls, appointments. Sure. But like, it's not like we're dead the rest of the year. It's insane in our organization all year round. To kind of like walk through and highlight some of the things that went on in June. I don't even want to miss any of them. So I'm going to find the list.
Yeah, please do.
Because
this was a record June.
I wanted to just really kind of explain that, first off, AEP is a great time of the year. It's a great time to grow your business. I've never understood people that are like, the rest of the year is to grow your business. AEP is for retention. I vehemently disagree with that.
100%.
All year round is to grow your business.
I feel like that's do you feel like that's a newer school of thought though? I feel like it's really become a thing the past 2 or 3 years. It used to be everyone was about growing there wasn't this conversation of, we're only circling the wagons. It was, we're all growing. But now it's shifted.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody that's running a bigger agency than us say it. That's pretty telling to me.
Yeah.
Like if there was somebody that was, higher up on the food chain on their agency size than us, and they were preaching that, maybe I'd be like, oh, maybe there's something to that. But I don't hear that. Nobody's saying that. That's like really growing in a huge way. I think the best companies, they find ways. Sure, you want to retain your business. Of course, that's definitely a focus in AEP, and we're going to get into this in a second here. But if you're not growing too, and you're not implementing a plan to capture new business, that there is a segment of people that can only change during AEP, and there's a segment of people that will only want to change during AEP because of the propaganda that's being shoved down their throat. It's like Christmas. It's programming. La, 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 la. People go out and buy decorations and Christmas things and Christmas cookies. If you're selling Santa Claus hats in June or July, no, they're not going to sell because you're not in the season, right? Yep. People, they just feel it. They're in the season. They're in the mood to talk about their plan. So regardless of whether you feel like you should be growing your business in AEP or not, if you're not, you are doing something wrong. And if it comes down to either retaining your business, retaining your clients, and growing, and you feel like it's one or the other, you shouldn't have to be making that distinction. You should be able to do both. Anyway, let me go through this June list real quick, and then we can talk about this because there's a lot. There's a lot here. Okay, in June, again, our company is made up of 5 companies in one. Okay. We rolled out our smartphone version of our Hire Heroes mobile app that you and team started pre-merger, even the mobile the Hire Heroes
software.
App.
Yeah, the software started.
And we've been developing it every year. We've been making adjustments to it, alterations, improvements. I know that was something that went on for months behind the scenes that we were working on.
Almost a year to convert what we had already built into the mobile app. That was a big project. Took longer than we expected.
I know you had said we've spent over 100K. I didn't even know what the figure was. And then I was like, oh shit, 100K, on the app's development in total over the years. That was a big project, available on Apple, available on Android. Holler Hire Heroes.
Holler
back, girl. Hire Heroes, girl.
Holler back, Hire Hero.
Okay.
In it this morning.
Second on the list, we finished a development project and also a data migration project in our own CRM and 7-figure CRM since December. Really, we've been working on a development project to alter the contact inside of in Argo High Level and change the code on the back end to allow for better visibility, less clunkiness, and for a Medicare agent or a health insurance agent, policy history, which is huge. Did not have the ability to do it. And then also any data that we didn't have in our internal agency in there, we migrated into it. That from our old CRM, huge project. We had a team of 10, 11 VAs working on it around the clock. We had, developer working overtime.
The VAs, our COO
Our leadership.
I mean, it was a huge project. And then we were all, I think, pretty nervous about it too. I think we were all worried how this was all going to play out. It went really smooth. I was super impressed with how this all went. Another big development project. We have consolidated. We're about 10 quarters, 2.5 years into the merger now. And from day one, we saw this problem of all these different technology solutions. And we were like, we need to consolidate. We've really consolidated now. We have become really streamlined. I'm really excited about it. It took a lot longer, I think, than maybe either of us anticipated, but I'm super excited about the consolidation of the technology and our platform where it's at right now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Of course, we brought on a bunch of new agents. We've been doing that for quite some time now. But like a lot of new agents came on board. A lot of great, exciting new partnerships were made in the month of June. We gave away tens of thousands of dollars of virtual assistant hours for free.
Still happening.
Still going on.
Still happening. Yep. 10 more days.
Our internal agency, we brought on more new clients than we had since any month since OEP. Like it's all happening all at the same time. We hosted the summit. Like,
the final
need
summit.
I say more? We executed
Massive.
the summit right in the middle of the month. Got through that. Had raving feedback from everybody that came. It was a terrific event. We prepared and did all kinds of work to prepare for our move into our new office, which we officially did on Wednesday. And so we moved into the new office. Amazing how much we've gotten done over there already. In the next week, we should have signage up. We should have all our artwork on the walls, every box unpacked, maybe minus one or two. All the desks are assembled. Everything's where it needs to go. It's crazy.
How do you feel about the new office? Anything you want to throw out there? I think it looks so good. It looks so not to
beautiful.
shit on the old not to shit on the old office here, but there's something about this new office that feels next level to me. It looks so professional. It looks so legit. I'm so excited about it. I really am.
Everything is new. The landlords communicated to us. They completely ripped apart the entire suite and rebuilt it for us. So the walls are new, the wiring is new, the systems are new, the network is new, carpet is new, paint is new, drywall, everything is new. It's brand new. It's beautiful. It's great.
It really is.
The glass is new. On the windows and the walls, and I'm excited for us to have all of those things completed in the next week and then do an updated walkthrough. And I think you guys are going to be really blown away. It looks great. And we have room to grow. Like we could probably grow our staff by a third, maybe even potentially double. I don't know about that, but like at least a third, and fit comfortably everybody in there. So we have room to grow. Anyway, all of that in 1 month in June. So I really had a moment of reflection on that. I'm like, dang, so anyway, I say all that to say, for us, and I think for a lot of really big businesses, sure, you're busy during AEP. Everybody is, but it's not to say that like it's leaps and bounds over what we are doing the rest of the year. And I think if you're building and structuring your business the right way, and you're building infrastructure and everything like that, like you might feel a slight lift in the busyness, but I don't think it would be that much more. Now, for a lot of agents, it is that much more. For a lot of agents, it's like, a 1 or 2 out of 10 on their business scale, and then it goes to 15 during AEP. And that tells me you're doing nothing during the year. You're not trying to grow. And then when AEP does come, you not growing during the whole year means you can't afford infrastructure to help you get through it.
Great point. I think I wanted to mention this too, because some of you, not that I know there's some folks who was crazy at the summit. We had someone who'd been through 20 AEPs, which is crazy. So I'm not that old, but I've been through, a decade of AEPs myself, and I've kind of seen a lot of different things. So something that I wanted to convey to newer agents who maybe this is your first or second AEP, it has never been easier, in my opinion, to write new business because of the environment that we have now become accustomed to during AEP. It used to be that there was so much outbound targeting for new clients that there was a lot of competition. Major call centers, just being flooded with marketing dollars, all for new business. Agents not worried about retention, just trying to write. But because of this shift, the marketing dollars aren't what they used to be. More agents and agencies are focused on retention. Because of some of the chaos among, plan changes and these SARs, the plans getting terminated. In my opinion, to grow your business, to get more new clients, I think it's easier than it's ever been. Would you agree with that? Do you feel like there's been an environment change that's beneficial for those who are actually taking advantage of it?
I think the pendulum has definitely shifted that way. Because I think a lot of like the big, private equity funded competitors, stock publicly traded competitors where it's like, how can you possibly compete with them at scale? It's more difficult. They're like getting pushed out because of their bad quality of business. And the industry right now favors the local neighborhood Spider-Man agent, your local friendly Spider-Man agent. It really does. It really does, because that agent provides good service, relationship-based selling, high retention numbers, all of that stuff. And that's what the industry wants right now. That's what CMS wants, even if they don't say so publicly. That's what carriers were wanting. And they don't want this churn and burn, crazy low retention, bad customer experience, bait and switch, scammy marketing type of model. They don't want that. One thing I wanted to kind of get into is like, because I know we only have so much time on today's episode. Some like real action items on what you should be doing right now.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, let's talk about it.
So I'll kind of get my thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours as well, Glenn.
Let's do it.
Because we're, there's things we're doing all year round on the background to prepare for AEP. But right around now is when we're really putting together, the outline of what our plan is going to be, continuing forward any preparation we've done so far. Now, here's the thing. You can make a plan, but you need to be ready to pivot on your plan, as Becky said at the summit, right? couldn't have worded that better myself, because if you make a plan today on July 3rd,
Pivot.
if you make a plan today, July 3rd, and let's say something happens where your best carrier pulls out, and you find that out next month, you need to be ready to adjust your plan, right? So, well, the way I've always looked at it is like people that are like, we know exactly what we're doing January for the upcoming October, and we do not deviate. You're full of shit. You're trying to make you're trying to make like a nice looking Facebook post, be like, look at me, fucking loser. It's sorry. But it's
true,
so
though.
true. Like,
it's true.
Your plan, you create a skeleton of it now, but be ready to shift it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, as carrier rollouts happen, what's going to be. You don't know what plans are going to go away. You don't know what plan changes are going to happen. You don't know if a carrier that historically has been super competitive all of a sudden is not. A new carrier is going to come in, a new plan's coming. You just don't know those types of details. You can create an outline of your plan, but it might need to change quite a bit. It might need to, let's say your plan is Thriller Michael Jackson. By the time you get to AEP, it's Michael Jackson at the end.
Yeah.
And it needs to go through some changes.
It's a wild analogy, but I'll allow it. So again, like, to really look at some tangible action items for you guys. If you're listening to this, you're watching this, and you're looking at the calendar and you're trying to figure out, like, what can I actually do right now to prepare? We talked about how we just finished our CRM migration project. If you don't have a CRM, if your CRM's a mess, if you have a bunch of data that needs to be uploaded to your CRM, like, I think now is the time to really make sure that your data is clean and accurate going into AEP. The last thing you want is a bunch of
sorry.
For the audio only audience.
Original plan.
You want to explain for the audio only audience on this one?
So we have a picture of young Michael on the left here, and the difference of Michael on the right. I mean, obviously the skin color, but like the hair is like straightened
on the
right. Butt chin.
Like
nothing's every it's not the same person. So yeah.
A couple of things I'll rifle off here as we're getting towards top of time. But if you want someone to come in and help you, whether it's someone you want to bring in permanently or it's a seasonal hire, I would not wait until end of August or early September, which a lot of you I think are thinking that way. Like, I'll figure this out later. You want to bring someone in the next probably couple weeks. That way you have that full 60 days leading up to AEP to really get them up to speed to what they need to do, how you want them to do. So I'm thinking staffing. I'm thinking, what's my data look like? Am I in a CRM? Am I using a CRM? And then the third one I'll mention is, you talked about like contracting and licensing. Like, that's the sort of stuff that you don't want to wait till the last second because it can eat up a lot of time. So maybe to try to plan ahead and have a plan B, C, D, maybe you're thinking, well, in case my current state or the states I'm in, if there's a bunch of chaos, maybe you pick up 3 more states. Maybe there's a carrier you're not contracted with right now that you pick up that contract, that you didn't have before, to try to prepare. I mean, those are like 3 things right off the top of my head that I think you should be thinking about right now to help prepare for AEP.
Yeah, I think that's such a great point. Like, I've always looked at it like getting the little things out of the way so you can focus on business, and your team, if you have a team, can focus on business. Licensing is a great one to get taken care of now. this isn't a popular one, but like certifications, I would rather be doing them in July and August than in September, because
Sure.
September is very much, we call it in our office at ESI pre-AEP. The calls start coming in. We're starting to get final information from carriers. And like, there's a lot of prep work. Like, we're really putting the finishing touches on our client outreach or client communication, the final version of our plan, the butt chin Michael Jackson, um,
It's Friday, everybody.
But then, I think if you need to pick up a new contract, if you need to change FMOs, those are all things you should be doing now.
Right now. Yeah. You can't
Right
wait on that.
now.
I'll throw one out here too. What do you think about like prepping for any personal matters, right? So I'll give you an example that I see a lot of agents do. Like, maybe you're planning on having someone come in and help more around the house. Maybe you're going to sign up for a meal service, like things like that. Because again, it's how do you maximize your time? Like, what can you be planning now? So when AEP does hit, you're not scrambling to try to figure these things out, because if you are, you're losing that golden opportunity. What do you think about that one?
I love it. If you need to get your oil changed on your car, like if you're looking at it, be like, oh, my oil might need to be changed in September or October, like at the rate I'm going. Do it now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Do it now.
Get
a vasectomy done. Get it now. Do it now.
If you're selling face to face, get your car completely tuned up right now, for sure.
Even if you're not selling face to face, right?
Yeah, like, even if you're not, because that's still a time suck for sure.
Like, maybe you have to pick up kids or take kids somewhere, or go to the grocery store. Like, you need your car for the most part, even if you're remote, right? Like, just, it's a thing. It's something that could pop up that could take up calendar space.
I totally agree.
And so any of that should be good. This is a kind of an important one. I know we're getting close to top of time, but I think it's important to mention. If you haven't been through a lot of AEPs and you're married and your spouse is maybe stay at home, something like that, if you're selling in particular, having a conversation, sitting down with your spouse and having a conversation and setting expectations that, like,
great one.
Hey, honey bunches of oats,
your spouse, your kids, your family, your friends. This conversation, I think, could be had with everyone in your life. Hey, I'm not going to be here for a couple weeks.
Hey, Dawn, I know we like to do cookouts on Saturdays. I might not be available for a couple of, you know what I mean?
Months.
Like,
yeah.
And I've talked to people too. They're like, you only live once, so continue your cookouts during AEP. Fine, but don't write as much business then. Don't tell me you want to write 150 apps.
Right. Don't get to the end of AEP and complain about how your AEP went, but then at the same time, you did take every Saturday off. You didn't prep as much as you could. I totally agree.
I can't remember who it was. I was listening to someone recently. Who was it? This is going to kill me. Was somebody like really, really, really successful, like, the billionaire boys. It was like a Bezos, somebody like that. I can't remember who it was. I was listening to an interview, and they were talking about, they're like, what do you think about work-life balance? And the person was like, there is no work-life balance.
Oh, was it Herjavec? Was it Robert Herjavec?
No,
from Shark Tank?
I hardly ever listen to any.
I saw a clip from him. He said the same exact thing. He's like, he's just laughing. He's being interviewed as he's walking, and they're like,
actually, maybe it was him.
Maybe I'm telling you, this clip, I just saw this clip like within the last few weeks, and he's like, they're like, what do you think about work-life balance? And he's walking, he's just laughing. He's like, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
He's like, it doesn't
exist. That was it.
That
was it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's Robert Herjavec. Yeah. That's a great clip. That's a great clip.
I don't know why I was thinking Bezos.
It was a billionaire boy. I'll give it to you.
But anyway, like, Doesn't mean that your personal life has to be in shambles, but sometimes you have to strategically know when it's time to shift some focus towards one side or the other. But you can't, for most people, and you can build your life, you can structure your life in a way to where you're maximizing both, but like you can't all the time.
Yeah.
There's certain times where opportunity is ripe. And if I'm a new agent coming into AEP in particular, and I don't even have any existing client responsibilities, I'm coming into this AEP licking my chops. Because oh my God, like the last couple in particular, this one's no different. Some AEPs have been in the last 10 years very uneventful.
Yep.
And I think there's probably never been a better time for a new agent to come in and just make hay, you know? So I think totally all of that is very important. We probably should move into final thoughts.
Yeah, let me jump into my final thoughts on today's episode. Guys, today is Freebie Friday. If you want a chance to win leads from Lead Heroes, comment below on this episode or one of our other episodes we did. This is the third episode we've done this week, and that enters you into a chance to win free leads from Lead Heroes right here in the Facebook group. Freebie Friday. We'll get that announced later. Final thoughts on today's episode. I think we have a great list here. I'll probably get it posted later in the group today because I think this is such an important list of these things that you could be doing right now or this month. You know, I think the tendency for the average agent is they really wait till September. I really think the average agent, the calendar hits September 1st and they start panicking on what do I need to do? How do I get, if you can start preparing most of this now and get this stuff done now, it's going to make it so much easier for you when September rolls around. You can focus on the more important things like really prepping for retention, looking at plans, carriers, seeing what plan A, B, C, or D, which one you're going to go with based on the, you know, your market and everything you're seeing. But don't wait. Prepare now. It's coming. Those are my final thoughts. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Mr. Brindle, final thoughts on today's episode.
If you're at a place with so many agents are, where you're like, I don't have any time to grow during AEP. I'm up to my eyeballs in retention. That tells me you've reached the capacity of what's possible in your current model. You need help. You need infrastructure. Hiring a virtual assistant right now and getting as much time as possible to train them and get them up to speed to help you is an investment in your growth. It might allow you to do less service work, not have to do everything yourself. Maybe your assistant maybe doesn't even have to do as much, so they can help you more if you have an assistant already. Like it's an investment in the ability to grow. Just because you're up to your eyeballs right now doesn't mean growth is impossible. It means you've reached the capacity of what you can do the way you're currently constructed. And you need more help. Maybe what in any capacity. So right now is a great time to hire a virtual assistant.
Yes, it is
to get them trained. If that's you. But my message would be in my final thoughts is, again, if you feel like you can't grow during AEP, you 100% have an infrastructure problem, and you're doing something wrong. So anyway, guys, appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. Make sure to give us a like, comment, subscribe, give us a 5-star review, whatever the platform of your choice will allow you to do. And we'll be back Monday. Have a great 4th of July, everybody. If you're able to shoot off fireworks, think of me. Maybe send me a video privately. I might get off on it a little bit. And we'll see you guys next week. Here's to your massive success. Thanks, everybody.